G'day and thanks for tuning into the official Mechanic.com.au podcast, Australia's #1 podcast for developing successful careers and highly profitable workshops in the automotive service and repair industry. In each episode, we interview industry experts from all different areas of our trade. And the best part is, you get to ask the questions. To find out who we're interviewing next, head over to Mechanic.com.au, and if you aren't already a member, make sure you create a free account. But please remember that Mechanic.com.au is for the automotive trade only and is not available to the general public. We hope you enjoy this episode of the podcast. Alright, so this marks the first Mechanic.com.au podcast for 2018. It's a bit of a double header. We're joined by both Jeff Turner from Ryco Filters as well as Brendan Hughes from Penrite Oil. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen, taking the time out of your day to have a chat to us.
Welcome, it's good to be here.
And what I'll get you to do, if you can just start off, Brendan, tell us a bit about your background and what you do over at Penrite Oil.
Okay, I'm the National Training Manager for Penrite Oil. Been involved in the automotive business for the last probably 30 years in various businesses. And I've been at Penrite for about 8 years and basically look after all of our product training. I look after a lot of our technical side, our technical department as well.
Sure. Good stuff. And Jeff, yourself?
Yeah, I guess similar to Brendan. I've been in the auto industry for seems like a long time now, over decades. I've been in product development and product management roles and engineering roles largely through that time. At Ryco, I guess I'm a relative newcomer. I've been here coming up 3 years now. I'm product manager for what we call light duty, which is basically all the vehicles other than large trucks and buses.
Sure.
And I mostly manage oil, air, fuel and cabin, which are the main filters that we sell, I guess.
The big ones there. Fantastic. We've had quite a few questions, about 8 in total in regards to filtration and what have you. As you know, we put out to the Mechanic.com.au community to field some questions. There's a few guys are quite eager to get some information and knowledge out of you guys. What I'll do is I'll roll through, I'll hit you both with a question, we'll alternate through it. We'll start off with new products, it's been quite a popular one, interest in new filters and lubricants that are coming out in 2018. A few questions around suitability for particular vehicles, as well as a couple of technical ones, which I think we'll finish off with. So we'll start with you, Brendan. The first question I've got here, what new part numbers are coming this year in regards to DCT and CVT oils, so dual clutch transmissions and constant velocity transmissions, to cater for the newer specifications? So what's Penrite got in the works for 2018?
Okay, Rob, we just actually launched 2 brand new products in December last year, so they're just over a month old. The 2 products are called CVT Low Viscosity and CVT Chain. Now, the CVT Low Viscosity, that meets the Mitsubishi Daikin CVT J4 spec, as well as a Nissan NS3 spec, which are actually the latest CVT specifications that are used in current vehicles.
Sure.
The chain product actually meets suitable for like Subaru Lineartronic systems and high torque transmissions, as well as the Audi Multitronic type transmissions. So,
wow.
Penrite's one of the only aftermarket lubricant suppliers that have 3 CVT fluids in their range to cater for what's in the market. So, between the 3 products, we covered nearly every type of CVT that's available on the market.
Fantastic. And what capacities do those ones come in?
They come in 4s, 20s, 60s, and we'll do 205s if people need them. So there's no drama there. If they want a bigger size, we can do them.
Fantastic. And just while we're on the transmission lubricants, there's been a bit of talk in the last week or two about different members trying to source lubricants for ZF transmissions. Does Penrite do anything to cater for the ZFs?
Yeah, quite a relevant point. We're just about to release a brand new product that's actually suitable for the ZF 6, 8 and 9 speed transmissions. Right, the product will be available from February the 2nd.
Yeah.
It'll be called ATF BMV. It's a full synthetic transmission fluid. Uses the latest state-of-the-art additives, and it's probably suitable for about 850,000 vehicles on the roads in Australia and New Zealand. So there's a lot of cars out there that need this type of transmission fluid, and we'll gladly be one of the first people to have it out in the market.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah, it's probably our most requested product for the last 6 years.
Yeah, I think it's getting to that time. Obviously, we see a bit of a a bit of a lead time before there's the demand for it, but I think we're certainly hitting that spot now, and it's good that you've got a solution to cater for us. So that's good news. We'll post some more information about that in the Mechanic.com.au community soon. Jeff, I'll flick it over to you for the next one. Is Ryco releasing more replacement diesel particulate filters this year, and which models are proving to be the most popular?
Well, I guess, Ryan, the answer is definitely yes. We're introducing more filters. It's part of our ongoing product development and range development for all our product programs that we would do that. The diesel particulate filter program is a relatively new program for us, and it's really starting to make some really good inroads. We've done a lot of work around educating and trying to help, because I guess we find we don't want people, they're willy-nilly changing a fairly expensive piece of gear if it's a sensor problem or something like that. So I think people have seen we tried to spend a fair bit of our effort around communicating those types of things.
Sure.
These are particulate filters, but yeah, definitely. I think the range sits at around 80 part numbers at the moment.
Wow. Okay.
We've currently got in development well over 20 part numbers that we should start to see come through over the next 6 months. Just to hit a couple of highlight part vehicles in there, maybe. Then the current Honda CR-V, the 2.2 litre diesel, we're working on one for that vehicle.
Sure.
VDJ 200 Land Cruiser, and then a raft of commercial vans like Sprinters, T5 Transporter, the current Transit, and also something like the Isuzu F-Series truck. So yeah, there's plenty on the go for us there in terms of development.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of the current range, I think you said what's the most popular. Definitely the two most popular vehicles that we're selling DPFs for at the moment is the D40 Navara. That's our RPF 203, which is a big seller, and also for the Subaru Outback, our RPF 236. They're quite popular at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Oh, excellent. Thanks for that. It's quite an impressive range that's in the coming in the future there. Next question, we'll move back to you, Brendan. So when an oil is listed for outside of the warranty period, what does this mean in terms of the specification of the oil?
Okay, it's a pretty common one, but some manufacturers are more specific than others when it comes to what product they specify for their vehicles.
Right.
Like it's a grey area, especially when it comes to warranty if needed. So sometimes a product may meet all the manufacturer's specifications for a fluid, but it's not approved by the manufacturer in their vehicles. So in some cases, the manufacturer will only recommend their own OEM product for a particular application. So things such as the colour of the fluid, the base oil type, even the servicing and like filling procedures could be taken into account if warranty is needed. So to protect the customer's warranty with the manufacturer, we may specify for out-of-warranty use in some applications where there's not a clear and defined specification or servicing procedure for that particular application.
Sure.
Just to maybe give an example of that, it may be where you have something such as a filled for life specification by the manufacturer, or where the manufacturer only recommends their part number, XXXX 123, whatever it is.
Sure.
So it's one of the. What's important is that Penrite product recommended for a specific application comes with 100% guarantee or warranty that the product is suitable for that application.
Right. Okay.
Whether it be within the warranty period or outside of it. So if we have a product recommended for an application, it comes with 100% warranty that it meets that specification needed by the manufacturer.
Gotcha.
So, but as I said, it can be. It's one of those grey areas that's like a bit hard to explain.
Yeah.
To people.
Yeah.
But there are. There are examples out there where we actually do have like for outside of warranty period, and that's just to protect the workshop, I suppose, who's doing the work, or the service centre and the customer to make sure their warranty is protected with the manufacturer.
Sure. So the distinction is that it meets the specifications, but it's not necessarily been approved by the manufacturer in some instances.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I'm sure that the people that the trade would certainly know that there's approved products for a lot of applications, right? And then there's no approval needed in other areas.
Yeah,
With
absolutely.
the same manufacturer. So, they might need an approved engine oil, which you might be able to supply, but for a gearbox, they may not need an approved product. They may just need, you meet this specification, and that's what the gearbox takes.
Sure, absolutely.
So as I said, we try and make it as safe as we can for the if someone's got to change something, a fluid in an engine or a gearbox. And sometimes we need to put on that for outside of warranty period to protect the customer.
Sure, absolutely. Oh, that clarifies it a lot because, there is quite a bit of misinformation, I think, around that. So that's certainly cleared a few things up, at least for me.
Yeah, as I said, if it's recommended, we recommend it, then we guarantee that it will perform for the application required.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right, Jeff, we'll flick back to you, mate. What exactly is the Syntec range of oil filters? So if you could firstly just explain exactly what they are, and can we expect to see them in cartridge format as well as the spin-on format?
Syntec is a range of oil filters that we released just over 18 months ago now. It's a high efficiency oil filter, so not to be confused with a high flow. We sometimes we get calls through to the call centre of people saying, why can't I put it on my racing vehicle? Those types of things. So
sure.
The main thing with Syntec is it's all about efficiency. It's about keeping that oil as clean as we possibly can get it. We like to think of it as the ultimate in oil filtration. It's designed to exceed OE. It utilises a synthetic nanofibre cloth media that's supported by a mesh, and then that's pleated together. It's quite complex to manufacture that way. So as a result of that, we've only got some limited range at this stage, and so it is actually available. And we've got one cartridge in the range at the moment, so it actually is available in 2605P. For many Commodores and Holdens, obviously.
Sure.
And our theory with that is it's only 20 part numbers. Currently, we basically work through our fastest moving spin-on filters, primarily those most popular vehicles. I'm actually currently working on a range development for might only be 5 or so part numbers. As I said, that manufacturing technology is a little tricky, and in some cases we sort of need to redesign the filter. But the beauty of that nanofibre material is that you get an incredible amount of filtration efficiency. So at 25 microns, we're seeing 99.8% efficient, so nearly 100% efficient in that sort of micron range, which in oils is amazing. And it really, an oil filter sort of filters better as it progresses through its life and the media starts to load up with particles.
Sure.
But the other thing with Syntec is right straight out of the box, the initial efficiency is very high. So the amount of what we call the non-retained mass, the particles that pass through the filter into the engine is significantly decreased. So, with that cloth, with that nanofibre cloth, we've actually managed to not sacrifice flow. Flow is measurably slightly less, but not pretty much the same as a standard filter.
Sure.
And the life we've managed to get with that because of that wire mesh backing. You're able to get quite a bit of media in there, so the life is able to get through out to 15,000 kilometres.
Wow, okay. So it's a significant increase in the service life of the filter as well.
As well, yeah. So it's pretty special. It's never going to be available in hundreds of different part numbers.
Of course.
We're constantly looking to add to the range, and I guess watch this space. We've got a few that we'll be adding over the next few months.
Good stuff. We'll keep an eye on it. Excellent, guys. We've still got, we're about the halfway mark, but it's been great feedback so far. Brendan, I'll shoot back to you. This one's on brake fluid. So, considering that Super .4 brake fluid is considered suitable for Toyota systems and many other .3 systems, will your .3 fluid become redundant?
That's a good question. The Toyota and probably a lot of other manufacturers still specify .3 fluid for their vehicles, and many come factory filled with .3. So while it's still a current specification used by OEMs, then we'll still manufacture it and still sell .3 fluid for those that want to choose this specification.
Sure.
But Penrite actually also manufacture like a Super .4, .4 ESP, .5.1, a racing brake fluid, and silicon brake fluid. So, brake fluids can be confusing to a lot of people. Again, like oils, there's a few of them.
Sure.
And they have some different applications. So, in this case, what I'd just say is we will still manufacture .3. It will not become redundant until OEMs stop using it.
Sure.
Right, and stop recommending it. And then you've still got all the cars that have been filled with it anyway, so you still need to be able to supply that product.
True.
Even though in a lot of cases you can probably swap it for Super .4.
Sure, absolutely.
But what we are seeing is probably more cars coming onto the market that are going to take like the later specification brake fluids like .4 ESP, which is basically for cars that are equipped with like electronic stability programs, automated braking systems, right? Because it actually reacts faster than what the older type fluids do.
Sure, okay.
So for anyone who's needs more information on brake fluids, we actually have an excellent technical bulletin from our website. If they go on to penriteoil.com.au, just go to support, product bulletins, pick out brake fluid, and then there's a couple of great articles on choosing the right brake fluid.
Right.
It explains all the differences between the actual brake fluids that are there as well. So certainly worth a read if you're a bit confused about what the different types are and what they do.
Sure. And I think what we'll do is we'll bump that out to the community through Mechanic.com.au as well, because I think it is one of those areas that some people don't quite have as much of a grasp as they think they do on suitability, what can replace what and what have you. So
one of the things we always get asked is, do you have a synthetic brake fluid? Well, all brake fluids basically are synthetic. Anyway, so and someone says, I want a mineral brake fluid. Well, there is actually a brake fluid that can do for mineral applications.
Yeah.
But it's only used in probably, I think, 2 cars that I know of. So, and they're both British, and one's a Rolls Royce and one's a Jaguar.
Well, that'd be right.
and they're relatively old vehicles now. So, brake fluids are confusing. And there's a few around, and they do have different applications. So, I'd certainly recommend that people read up on them. And that's just a good article, which we can certainly pass on to Mechanic.com.
Yeah, sure. We'll push that out shortly. Back to you, Jeff. This one's on diesel filters, and just to be clear, we're talking about diesel fuel filters. So, does Ryco have any plans to release a line of high-efficiency diesel filters? And where can we find out more information about the efficiency specifications of the current line of Ryco diesel filters?
Okay, there's 2 parts there.
Yeah.
In terms of the the specific line of high efficiency fuel filters, we don't have any plans to do that. In a Syntec type way.
Yep.
But we also don't feel that we need to at this point. With our meet or exceed OE philosophy with fuel filters. Fuel filters is one of our really strong products, and we already have many of those filters that for common rail diesel applications.
Sure.
That are around 4 micron rating already, and some maybe even a little bit better than that. So we feel that we offer that already, where it's relevant for the particular application, and we do that by way of matching that OE filter that's on that vehicle, in some cases exceeding it slightly. So no plans to do that specifically.
Yep.
But as I said, we think we've already got that there with filters like R2619P. We even have a 4 micron, a couple of 4 micron fuel water separator pre-filters,
Mm-hmm.
Z981 and Z982.
Right.
So I think we're already playing in that high efficiency range as we know.
As it stands,
for those vehicles.
Yeah.
In terms of getting access to that information, we recognise that the community's kind of asking for that. We're working on that now. We'll definitely be adding that in. Currently, you would need to, if any of you guys need to get that information, best to call our customer service centre, and they'll work through with us, the product team, to get the information for the specific applications.
Sure.
But the plan is to add that to the website. Where you look up a part number, you might come in through the catalogue for your vehicle, click on the part number, go through to the part page, and now we have some basic dimensional data, etc. We plan to add micron rating information into there.
Fantastic.
But we want to do more than that, because there's a fair bit of misinformation in the community getting around the micron rating.
Right.
Micron ratings stated at as low as 2, and often the efficiency is not stated in conjunction with that micron rating. So we just want to make sure that we're comparing apples with apples. So that there's various SAE and ISO standards as to the way to measure that micron rating, and so we plan to put out some tech bulletins and some more information around education as to what that means, how it's measured, and what's the significance of it as well. So we'll be doing more than just saying, here's the micron rating for this filter. We plan to tell everybody how it works. Yeah,
and would it be fair to say that there's always a bit of a trade-off when designing filters and things like that? You've got the flow rate through the filter, the lifespan, the efficiency, the size of the filter media. It's always a bit of a trade-off, isn't it, trying to get an optimum performance out of a filter?
You're always optimising those characteristics, yes. So, I mean, let's face it, you can have 100% efficiency, but it stops everything, so nothing goes through. So, so it is a trade-off. And some people might claim 2 micron rating, but that might be at 50% efficiency, not at 98.67% efficiency. So we just want to make sure that that's clearly understood. And as I said, we'll be putting lots of information together around that, and also providing that data for our filters for people to find easily. So definitely in the works, and look for it to come soon, hopefully. Good stuff.
All right, the last 2 questions we've got are back to product lines. So Brendan, I've got one here. I'm not sure if the rest of the community shares this sentiment, but his question is, does Penrite plan to expand the 6-litre range? Sometimes it's difficult to keep 20 litres in all required fluids, and often 5 litres isn't enough. Obviously, the size of the workshop and your turnover of lubricants plays a significant role there, but are there any plans for broadening the 6-litre range in future?
Yeah, actually, interesting question. It's something we get asked quite often.
Okay.
We actually just did some research on this here, based upon our recommendations, and we actually found manufacture 7 of our major oils in 6-litre bottles,
right?
Like sizes, and we actually found that those seven major products actually cover 75% of the car park. Vehicles on the road today. So, like all of our products, packaging, we review these constantly to ensure we provide the best alternatives for our customers. Now, most of our oils are available in either 10-litre size, right, or 5-litre size, and 1 litre, which is another alternative to holding 20-litre sizes. And I can understand from workshop point of view, they want to carry less, not more. But these days, the variety of cars and makes and models on the road is so vast that it also creates a multitude of specifications and viscosities, required to actually service these vehicles. So there's always going to be a trade-off in what product distributors can hold. And like everything else, their shelves aren't elastic. So, if we make more products in different sizes or larger sizes, we've also got to make room for these products for our distributors as well.
Yeah, there's the warehousing component
to actually sell them. So, it's one of those things we will keep looking at, and we'll keep revising. But at this stage, we're just about to release two new products into it, 10 litre sizes, because the main vehicle that takes them uses 9.8 litres on a service refill.
Sure.
So, so a 6 litre bottle, you're going to be buying a 6 and a 5 anyway to actually service that car. So, Ryan, the industry's complicated and becoming more so with new makes and models and specifications on the way. So, one of the things we're actually doing at the moment is we're updating our touchscreens, which I'm sure plenty of people would have seen in our distributors.
Yep.
And what it'll actually do is it'll actually tell you the amount of oil you need, right, to buy to actually do the service.
Sure.
So that'll be happening very soon.
Yeah.
So it'll certainly help someone if they're saying, hang on, I need 7.6 litres to complete that service. It'll tell you what products to buy.
Oh, great.
To actually be able to complete the service. So the only other thing I can recommend for people that have that issue is Penrite have two NetLube applications for smartphones. So it's certainly they're available for both Android and iOS.
Yep.
And they can help you easily look up the right product and the right amount of product to go in a vehicle, right? So we have a retail app that has everything on it, and we have a trade app that our trade customers can use as well.
Gotcha.
And it mirrors our information that's on our online web service.
Sure.
So the recommendation guide to download these, just need to visit either the app, the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Yep. And people can download them for free on their phone. If they type in Penrite NetLube, they'll find the app and they'll see them both there.
Sure.
And they're free, but they'll certainly help those people when you've got a car to service and you need to know how much oil goes into it.
Yep.
I know it's getting away a little bit off the question.
Oh no, it's quite relevant.
But at least it'll show them what the vehicle needs to be serviced correctly. And it's not just engine oil. Obviously, it's coolant, gearbox oil, automatic transmission fluid, differential fluid, etc.
Sure. I mean, we've had a chat about that in the group before, but we might push out shortcuts to those ones just so anyone in the community can jump on and download them, because it's a very handy app. It's quite easy to use, so it's a good one just to have in your pocket in the workshop to save you tying up the computer.
It's also too, like, if you're not sure what goes in the car, I think, and it can be annoying for workshops these days, because they can't carry every single specification of oil, and no one expects them to. So the trend is towards smaller packaging of products to actually, but still be able to do the servicing as you need. Yeah. So, but also again, there's a trade-off with what our distributors can hold. Yeah. Right. In sizes, if we're asking them to hold 1 litre, 5 litre, 6 litre, 10 litre, 20 litre sizes of one product, then obviously it takes up room, and then they can't hold something else.
Absolutely, it's a perpetual struggle, but it's good that you guys are on top of it and just constantly just keeping an eye on the fill quantities and just iterating your product range to suit. So I mean, that's the best we can ask of you, I guess. That's great. And
it's interesting. The two biggest selling cars last year, one takes 9.8 litres and the other one takes 7 litres, 7.5 litres. So 6 litre won't really help anyway in that circumstance.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think as it stands, I mean, in my eyes, it's pretty well covered. But I mean, you can do the best you can. So we'll just keep plugging away at it. And the last question for you, Jeff. Can you tell us a little bit more about Ryco's new range of the O2 Rush, the air filters?
Yeah, sure. We've been getting around the performance enthusiast community and talking to some performance workshops, and it was not really a thing that we chased heavily into performance filtration, but it seemed to us that those guys were crying out for some choice, and some quality choice and quality offering. So at Summonats 31, earlier in January this year, we launched our new range of washable and reusable Ryco Performance air filters, which we're calling O2 Rush.
Sure.
And yeah, like I just said, we're really excited to be offering the performance enthusiast a Ryco quality choice over the more standard or regular offerings in that category. And with the lab testing and the dyno testing we've done, we're sort of pleased to say that we've got an offering that provides a little bit more power, but with our Ryco approach, we weren't prepared to compromise as much on efficiency. As you said before, there's always a trade-off, one versus the other, and you can get the most air into the engine if you just take the filter out, but that's not going to really help anyone long term. So the open cell polyurethane foam media that we've got in there's just really allowed that technology's really allowed us to just get a little bit more flow through and a bit more grunt, obviously, which really matters to the guys, and not, as I said, not sacrificing quite so much on efficiency, and also some good dust holding capacity in there. So we're really happy with that.
Great.
It's only a smallish range at this stage, so a range of panel and radial filters to go in standard airboxes for some Falcons, Commodores, Rexes and the like, and also some four-wheel drives as well.
Sure.
And also we've added to that there's 4 universal pod filters for anyone that wants to do a bit of their own plumbing and really tune the engine up a bit more, and we're getting some great power results out of that. So yeah, really excited about it. It's very early days for us. It's really just launching now, and the stock's starting to get throughout to our stockists. So if anybody wants to know any more about it, then they can get on the website, get onto rycohighperformance.com.au. You can also come through our regular website, talk to your stockists, and we think, as I said, for the performance enthusiast and those performance workshops, it's a really solid offering, and see some great power gains with some of those vehicles.
Good stuff. I mean, it's certainly the talk of the town at Summonouts this year. One question I had there, you mentioned washable. My question is, are they an oiled filter or not?
Yes, oiled.
Okay.
So it's a foam oiled rather than a multi-layer cotton oiled.
Gotcha.
Again, a large amount of information that will be available in videos in terms of showing washing and re-oiling, because we control the oil on the filter when it comes fresh out of the box, so they're available pre-oiled. So that should be matched, but obviously if you've got people smothering them in oil and it's dripping out of there, then you will upset your maths and everything.
Oh, of course.
So we'll be providing all that information because that's a significant part of it. Obviously, they're washable, they're reusable. We also have a range of consumables and cleaner and conditioner to wash it and clean it to get the foam right. And yeah, re-oiling is very important in the amount of oil. But the filters pull apart. The foam's easy to get to actually work the oil through and remove the excess. So yeah,
good stuff.
Exciting program.
Well, it sounds like it's been pretty busy over at Penrite and Ryco HQ over the recent months, and forward into this year as well, it seems. Yeah, I think it's been a great chat. I've learned a lot there, and that pretty much winds us up. So thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to have a chat to us. We certainly appreciate you offering up your time and answering our questions, and hopefully we can have a chat again soon.
We look forward to it in the future. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Jeff.
No, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Brendan, mate. It's been great. Catch ya.
Thanks a lot for listening. We hope you got some value out of that interview, and if you know anyone in the trade that might also get some value out of it, make sure you tell them to create a free account at Mechanic.com.au. Keep your eyes peeled for the announcement of the next Mechanic.com.au podcast to find out who we're interviewing and how you can get your questions answered. See you next time.